Full Service Radio is proudly supported and hosted by Simplecast, the easiest way for a podcast creator to publish and distribute audio on the internet. For more information, visit simplecast.com.
Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live from the lobby of the Line, DC. On this show, you hear from the voices of dynamic Black people and people of color in the agriculture, food justice, and healing space as they share empowering food narratives and perspectives that stem from the land, all while exemplifying the spirit of activism in their own edible way. Let's get started. Peace and welcome to the Edible Activist Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa L. Jones, broadcasting live here on Full Service Radio. So actually, I'm not broadcasting live, and I'm not broadcasting from Full Service Radio. I am in Jackson, Mississippi. Most of you all know, for some of you guys who don't, I am in my, where I was born actually, and where a third of my family is from. And right now I have the pleasure of being at Herbal Blessings, which is a medicinal and herbal shop based here in Jackson in the historic district of Farish Street. There is so much history where we are, and we're actually going to get into a bit about that in just a moment. But I wanted to take an opportunity to visit this Black-owned business. You guys know how we roll, interviewing entrepreneurs and gardeners and growers who are in food and agriculture. And we have some guests as well who we'll introduce in just a moment. But I'm sitting here with Yasmin, who is the CFO of Herbal Blessings. And thank you, Yasmin, for inviting me to space.
Thank you for coming and wanting to give us a little bit of love. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. I did I'm always researching, and, I'm down here spending some time with family, and I said, I need to venture out, and I definitely want to connect with the community here. And I was actually just amazed and excited when I learned that there was an actual herbal shop that was based here in Jackson. And when people hear, not even necessarily Jackson, when people hear Mississippi, they automatically think of the unhealthiness here. It's just one of the few things that connect. They think of fried foods, they think of greens. It's just, and part of it people just don't know. Some of it is ignorance, but we're not here to judge. But anyway, you guys have built a space of love and community, but most importantly, healing. Right, so we'll get into that as well, but let's just start off with your origins and where you're from, and we'll navigate into how you got to Jackson and how this all came about.
Okay. Well, I am originally from New Orleans. I moved to Jackson 6 years ago. I was a staff attorney from DC, very different lifestyle than I have now, and I was in the wheel of fighting for different issues, whether it was criminalization of young people in school to prison pipeline, election protection, the right to vote. And then I moved. When I first came to Mississippi, I met a young lady who was, she said she was super woke, and she was eating chicken nuggets from Wendy's. And she kept picking up the picture of Dave Thomas's daughter, Wendy, right? And she kept saying how she didn't trust the system. And it dawned on me. I was like, this is so weird that you keep saying that you don't trust the system, but you're eating the system at lunchtime, like clockwork, right? And so I was like, you don't find it weird that you addicted to nuggets? This is a person that I knew, a friend of mine. And they were like, well, no, I'm not addicted to nuggets. I said, you eat them every Wednesday. You don't find that an addiction, right? And so I had to look at my own life. And so I started to decolonize my diet, is what I called it. And so as I started to decolonize my diet in the same bubble, but in a different space, my husband was doing the same thing, and we did not know each other. And so once we met, it was like instant support system for each other as far as, wait, you don't own a microwave? Wait, you don't do X, Y, and Z? Like, oh, you don't eat, this, or you're transitioning. And so as a result, we kind of honed in on the different resources that we needed to be able to kind of do this in Mississippi. And most folks are like, you're going to not eat what? Like chicken's a vegetable. Is what one of my coworkers told me when I worked at Tougaloo, right? And I was like, chicken is a vegetable. We are in another planet. And so, just this whole misconception of what food looks like, what soul food looks like. I met some really cool elders when I first moved here who were talking about how the plate was colorful when they were growing up, and they were in their 90s. And it wasn't, the big piece of chicken was reserved for the husband. And so we had this misconception that they were eating certain things every single day. And rest in peace to my adopted grandmother, Helen Louise Williams, who's from here, who told me that catfish was for rich white people when she was growing up. Like catfish wasn't well obtainable as far as it was on her plate. She ate mostly rutabagas and mostly greens and cornbread. They had very little meat. They didn't raise hogs on her farm, right?
Absolutely.
And so some people I've talked to have the exact opposite story, and so their family did slaughter a hog, and so that's what they ate. But it wasn't laden with all these chemicals all pumped up that can sit on a shelf for forever. So I noticed that people in Mississippi were really in tune to nature. There were still folks that still canned around fall time, getting ready for winter, and they knew that canning was glass and not an actual aluminum can. Right, and so I was like, man, this place is just jumping. And I've lived in Australia, I've lived in Nigeria, I've lived in New York, I've lived in DC, I've lived in New Orleans, I've lived in Atlanta. And when I say live, I mean longer than 3 months in these places, right? Longer than 6 months in these places, not visiting for 2 weeks. And so it was eye-opening for me personally. When my husband told me that we were going to open up a herbal store on Farish Street, I was like, you got it, joking me.
Well, let's pause there because, there is, so where we are on Farish Street, there's a lot of history.
Yeah.
And I just want people to make that connection
Absolutely.
before you go into it.
Okay.
Because, Farish Street, back in the 50s, 60s.
So I'm gonna tell you a funny story
that?
because I'm actually gonna do a documentary
Nice.
on Farish Street. So I'm not a historian on Farish Street,
That's
but I know
okay.
a little something, right?
Okay.
So in 1869, more or less, Farish Street district was created, but it was created in a time where the Klan was straight terrorizing black people. Terrorizing black people. The CEO just decided to join us.
Yes. Hi, CEO. So we have a special guest. So I told you guys we have another special guest.
Yeah.
We have, what's your name, special guest?
My name EJ.
It's EJ. And EJ, what do you do? Are you the CEO, the CFO? Who are you?
I'm CEO.
You CEO of Herbal Blessings?
Yeah, I'm Blessings.
Yes. Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, your mommy's about to tell us the story. We're going to listen, okay? All right. And then we're going to get back to you because I want to ask you something. I'm going to ask you another question, okay? Perfect.
Right.
Go on, mommy.
What
Give us that history.
And so in 1869, in a nutshell, you had a lot of terror, right? The Klan were killing black people rampantly. So this is one of the black communities that was created for black people by black people, as opposed to places like Harlem that were originally created for Jewish people, and then
Right.
we infiltrated the area because we had very little housing, and we just took it over as black excellence can do. So Harlem,
As
and,
we do.
yeah, absolutely. And so on Farish Street, the district, really, you had everybody from Count Basie to Duke Ellington, who played here, Joe Simon. You had one of the first black hospitals in Mississippi was on Farish Street. So it wasn't just an entertainment district. It had actually where we're at right now, Dr. Harmon was one of the first black pharmacists. And and he actually was in this space. This was the last space that he was in before he retired.
Oh, in this actual
space.
Wow.
And before him...
y'all hear all this history?
Yeah, before him was and the next door to us is the oldest black bookstore in the United States. We're gonna pee. Okay, we gotta go pee.
We're going to take a quick break, y'all. We'll be right back. Mommy duty.
You're listening to Perfect Day, produced by Artists Authentic. For more of Authentic's work, visit allornothingstudios.com.
When your husband told you that, hey, he wants to open up a herbal store on Farish Street, you were kind of like...
I was like, well, if we're going to open up one, I was like, I guess the only place that we should open it up is on Farish Street.
Okay, that's what's up.
I was like, but you sure people in Mississippi are ready for healthy stuff? He was like, we're out here traveling, and when we go to Atlanta, we go to Houston, we're getting a whole bunch of stuff. He was like, I'm pretty sure there are other people that are tired of being sick. And he was like, so he lost 60 pounds as far as was borderline high blood pressure, borderline diabetic, like so many other people, just eating the wrong stuff. And so he was like, I'm tired of being sick. And so that's kind of our slogan here at Herbal Blessings. If you're tired of being sick and you're looking for an alternative, looking to understand that food is medicine, and to really take your health care in your own hands.
Come on.
The CEO said they got some work to do. You got some work to do, CEO?
Yeah.
We're together all the time, so he thinks that if he's leaving, then of course I'm.
Wait, CEO, we're gonna interrupt mommy just for a moment, okay? Like, it's okay. Can you let the world know what your favorite herb is? Come on,
Come tell him what herb you like.
I like.
I can't hear you.
Tutu, you gotta come over here. He's trying to go pick it up. You don't need to go pick it up.
What is it called? You gotta scream it. What's the name of it?
Tutu, what do you eat every morning?
I know.
You don't know? I figured he was gonna be like that.
Mommy, what's his favorite herb?
Oh, I mean, well, his regimen in the morning is to wake me up and tell me it's time for his sea moss. So he gets his own sea moss. He likes it in the capsule form where you open it up for him, and he takes it by mouth in powder form at least twice a day. That is one of his.
That's the CEO superpower.
Yeah, he likes that in B12. That in B12.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm coming.
I love that.
I'll be right behind you. Give me a kiss.
Come on.
I got something. I have a little gift for you. Can we wrap up and I give you a little gift? You're gonna go with Dad. I got a little gift for you for letting me do this show.
I'll bring it, okay?
Come on. Get your hand. Come on.
Sir.
Let you come. No.
His jacket is in my car.
Come. Come. Ouch.
I thought you wanted to go shoot ball.
No.
Oh.
No.
We're together all day, so.
Oh, it's okay. So it's pretty much like an honor, to be able to be called back to a place where, again, so much history is, where our ancestors, walk these streets, and to build, build a legacy here. Yeah, because that's what was built here on Farish Street, legacies.
Yeah, no, when your cousin is sitting is the very spot that Medgar Evers sat. Anybody who needed different pharmaceuticals, right? He had candles just like we have candles, and so Dr. Harmon's legacy is definitely not lost. My husband, like I said, is from Jackson, and so he's not old enough to remember Farish Street in its heyday, but just like everybody else, seeking to do their part. We're just trying to do our little part by buying this block recently, and we house the oldest black bookstore in the United States that doesn't have a website, right? She's old school, and so we are just in good company.
Wow,
in this awesome space between her or us was one of the Liberty houses where women created a co-op, and they made different things when they were intimidated and lost their jobs when they registered to vote. And then their wares were sold in places like either this space or this space. I can't figure out which space it was in, either this one or next door. But the last Liberty House was closed recently in New York.
Wow.
And so women from, I think a cooperative was similar that Fannie Lou Hamer had in the Delta. Where women made, different, kids' toys, different things that they could make and be able to sell. And so we do the same thing here at our shop. We have some of our community members, they make different gemstone jewelry. One of our staff members, she has her art for sale on the wall. So definitely paying homage to what used to be done
that is so awesome
in this space. And really just folks have been really positive and really receptive despite it being one of the fattest states in the United States, and getting a really bad rap that most folks don't care about their health, but it's just that we really didn't have access. And so now that we do, people are definitely excited about it, and excited to be coming back to Farish Street to shop, because everything wasn't just a club.
Right.
On this street. So
that is awesome. And I was, just going back to how receptive the community has been. Has there also been like this exploration for folks who aren't familiar with like herbs and medicinal shops, and just being able to see that, like educating them, and them wanting to heal themselves, wanting to understand how this can help me.
Absolutely. We have a mobile app that we created for folks. We have some really great articles on it from people that work in the shop or either come in the store, who are from Jackson or either live here now, who are able to identify things that they were dealing with, whether it was asthma or fibroids or post-traumatic stress, strokes, things that are real in our community, and then identifying the different herbal regimen and food regimen that they needed in order to be able to naturally heal themselves and take their ownership of our own bodies. I like to tell folks when they come in Herbal Blessings, I'm not in here as often as I would like to be, but if I am in here, I'll remind folks, I said, we're the strongest people, and we wouldn't have gotten kidnapped had we not been really strong. I said, do you really realize how brutal the Middle Passage was?
Oh my goodness.
And how strong a person's immune system had to be, how you couldn't, you're talking about I had hot flashes or, the majority, so just thinking about the actual health conditions and how we have deteriorated our health conditions by allowing another group of people to continue to put what's on our plate. And not really think about what we're eating. I read an article yesterday that Subway's bread had too much sugar, and I was just like, and as an attorney, I was like, well, this is, somebody had to do this, but this is crazy that we live in a time where you assume that certain things, because of the name, would be full of a drug.
Exactly.
Like a well-known
and the fact
drug.
that it's news, it's like, it's distributed like it's actual news. We knew Subway wasn't about nothing way back when.
No, but you are a unicorn, because the average person thinks that they're eating healthy.
I am a unicorn.
When you talk about going to Subway, right?
This is very true.
So that's a healthy option. What you talking about?
This is very
true. I didn't get nothing fried, right? And so we really got to re-educate ourselves and be curious. You got to be curious about what you put in your body.
Well, going back to the friend who was addicted, who didn't know that she was addicted to the chicken nuggets, but was addicted to the chicken nuggets, right?
Woke.
But was super woke. When I got into this space, anyone can tell you, like, I felt absolutely duped, right? Because I did not know that I was folded into this monopoly of a food system.
Absolutely.
And that's just what it was.
Yep. And
what it still is.
What it still is. And so, when you talk to people like, I like my son to watch certain things on TV. It's not a problem, but then you'll get to the one episode where it's like, why they got to make the candy? Like, my kid ain't even thinking about candy. He knows nothing about candy. And then now Storybox is talking about freaking candy and how you make chocolate, when the first episode was cell phones and how your eyes work and how the planets work. I'm like, why in the world as adults do we sit in spaces? And I guess that's indoctrinating the next generation of addicts. And well, why can't he come to the birthday party? Well, he loves you guys, and he sees y'all eating all this drugs. He'll tell you in a minute, chicken is for dogs, and chicken bone is for dogs, right? But like, he's still got to navigate himself through this real world of stuff, and so sometimes I wonder for him. I'm like, man, this is going to be interesting. As you create that foundation and you provide that influence, but there are so many other channels that get us all, like you said, we was duped. When you did good in school, you would beg for a drug, and your mom thought it was all good to give you that drug. But wouldn't give you no Hennessy if your life depended on it, right? And so it's like, and it's the same thing.
Right?
Same thing. It's doing the same things in your body, same things in your pancreas. You might as well just go to give my baby the shot of vodka, right?
So
at least he can go to sleep,
right?
You know what I mean? But like, and so it's just that whole misconception that we definitely working on, and so that people definitely come in here curious. Most folks don't realize if you're not pooping 3 to 4 times a day and you eat 3 to 4 times a day, you're constipated. So we really start off with the colon. We are the poop patrol.
The poop patrol. Nick, what were we talking about earlier? That Nick's my cousin, y'all. We were talking about earlier. My diet has been, and it's really, I control what I eat, so like I have to blame myself. But I really have been off since I've been here,
I can believe
and it's hard. And I was just like, Nick, we were talking about this stuff earlier. We specifically went on a hunt for a salad because I was just like, I gotta eat a salad. Like I cannot eat, and I was vegan for some time, and then I'm mostly plant-based, but I do eat some seafood, so like whatever, that's me. But I was just like, I need a salad today. I can't do nothing else, and that's exactly where we went.
Because you were fully aware what it like. But imagine some people thinking that it's cool to poop once a week, twice a week.
It's unhealthy.
I'm like, so we really start there. And so the nickname came from the streets once again, Poop Patrol, because if you come in here and you not pooping, we gonna have a nice conversation about what that looks like. And so that's definitely what we're working on, to do more educational stuff. We've been doing a lot more videos now. We finally got a YouTube channel. Folks was like, can you get a YouTube channel? And I was like, you don't even go on YouTube like that. And I put this on Instagram, y'all gonna watch it. And just like I said, that's what's been happening. So my experiment, I thought, and so we've been doing more of that because we really want to empower other folks to realize that you don't have to listen to us either.
Right.
That's what I don't like about a lot of stuff that when I first started this was all this ego, or listen to this person, I has to be this way. You have to do what's best for you. You have to have positive thoughts. You know what I mean? Like
I'm so glad you said that,
it's not. So when you come in here, it's not like, well, I'm like, you don't take us home. We're gonna give you this food guide. You're gonna go home. You're gonna have to hold yourself accountable as well. And then we don't want you to buy 8,000 things, because you're not gonna come back again if you start 8,000 things and you ate fried chicken yesterday. And so we're very realistic about folks, taking that win, being excited about the little things. If you didn't drink water at all, and now you're starting to drink water, let's celebrate that. You know what I mean? Like, let's not be down on ourselves because you relapse on the French fry that day, but you've been drinking water. And so you gotta,
I'm so glad
you gotta have those
that.
moments. And so we are definitely very realistic. And so I think that's another reason why people like to come to Herbal Blessings, because there's no judgment.
I was going to say that.
We used to fight over chicken back, me and my husband.
Right. Because you are, some of the times can be welcoming folks who this is unfamiliar territory.
Absolutely.
And if they are thinking about venturing down a plant-based, path, it's, there is a vegan community who's just like do or die, and they can make it uncomfortable for like the broader audience, and it's just like people do it at their own pace.
At their own pace. We're asking right now for the month of October to fuck the food that causes cancer. We all are aware of breast cancer, right?
Right.
And so it's cool, but the little ribbon that's on all these foods that's causing cancer really ain't helping you. It's another dupe, right? And so it will be better if you want to, rather than walking for your grandma, you can walk for your grandma, but then go to eat the stuff that is well known to cause cancer. Is really counterintuitive to your lifestyle and to your respect to your ancestors, right? So we're like 21-day plant-based challenge, fucking the foods that cause cancer, because there are vegan things that cause cancer. We are the plant-based family that provided Herbal Blessings. We are not, pushing a whole bunch of stuff that I can't pronounce. And so because the community was like, well, when y'all gonna start cooking? I'm like, I just cook for my family, so we got a little cookbook. We got smoked sea salt, because we like smoke, like ain't nobody never said it tastes good. So I know we know how to make red beans and things like that taste just like they got the smoky flavor to them. Without all the extra stuff. And so that's all we doing. We're just really excited about other folks, and we want folks to win. We want us to live long. We feel like revolutionary thing is to live and be here to make the choices. And not be here crazy and schizo and all these other things that are caused really by your diet.
Exactly.
And it's not mental health as far as in general, but your mental health is definitely connected to what you eat.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, what, if you're really concerned about your mental health, then we got to look at all the dye you eat.
That's so true.
All the different energies that you take on when you eating that stressed out chicken. You see them on the side of the road when they riding past you in them things, and you don't think they stressed out, and then the energy don't. Where it going?
Energy is so real, man. People underestimate it, or they just
it is only transferred. It does not die, right? So when I eat that stressed out piece of chicken, I'm already stressed out. Tip me over, and now I'm real aggressive for no apparent reason. Right. And or I get extra depressed because the chicken was depressed.
It was depressed.
You know what I mean?
It was sad.
Yeah, it was sad. It died.
Yep.
And so that's what we're just looking at the cycle of all that and really respecting our ancestors by wanting to be here and be sharp. And so that's what we're telling other folks, you know, like if you're tired of being sick, if you're tired of, you know, not being able to go up the steps, basically, are you tired of not being able to make love? Like, these are all
That's real talk.
Yeah, these are all real things. that, you know,
we got a whole love section over here. Y'all come on down to Herbal Blessings in Jackson, Mississippi, okay?
Like, you know, we got the website, you know what I mean? If you can't come
order,
down,
right,
you know,
exactly.
you can definitely order. You got the Lichtenstein for your brothers, you know, and different things like that, and backbreaker and juicy fruit.
Backbreaker, juicy
fruit. All these good kind of things, because you know, at the end of the day, these are things people want to do. You know, some folks are tired of all kind of stuff, and so that's really why we are here. Is because this is the way that we rolled before modern medicine. We got to remember that we were not allowed in hospitals for a long time historically, and so
not allowed in hospitals, but were experimented.
Absolutely, when we were allowed to, right? And so there's definitely a fear, but then as soon as something goes wrong, we catch something. You made that, baby. You didn't catch cancer. You didn't catch that heart disease.
Exactly.
Like, it ain't the flu. And so as a result, we've got to make sure that we're vigilant, keeping our immune system up, making sure we're pooping regularly, making sure we got positive thoughts. We're not around low vibration folks. We're not around low vibration food, because I'm sure a lot of your communities in DC, and they're really stressed out right now because of the president and what is all that stuff is going on. But if you're still eating stuff that you think the Klan would be happy that you eating, you definitely helping them put you in that grave earlier. Or either put you somewhere that you know that you won't be able to even function for real to want to go stand in line and vote.
Exactly.
You know, so you know, I know they upset, but let's apply some real smart knowledge y'all got up there in the DMV and all the mambo sauce you eating. You know, you might wanna lay off it a little bit. All the fancy little short ribs you go buy. I used to live there, so I'm fully aware of the food and the culture. So you know, we
Yasmin is a Howard U grad.
Yeah, I went to Howard Law School.
She's a bison.
Sometimes they claim us. I definitely claim Howard all day, but I've heard that Howard Law School was a stepchild.
Oh my gosh,
you went to Howard. I know I did. But I know when I was in grad school, some folks used to like to remind us, like, y'all know y'all over there on Connecticut Avenue. I was like, yeah, we used to be on Georgia, but y'all not there no more. So that was some of my med school friends used to have those jokes. But now I'm a Spelmanite, so let me not get shot.
Okay, you went to Spelman. Okay, I got you. Okay, we definitely, Spelman.
No, I'm a hot, that's the one, but I got some friends that might listen to your thing, and they be like, you don't ever shout us out. So,
well, she did, and y'all heard it.
Yeah, because I will wear the Spelman shirt at the Howard Morehouse game. I didn't go to Morehouse. I went to Howard, so I get the flack
that's
for sure.
But
you know, that's what we're here for. My husband, like I said, he was really the visionary on it. We just took our lifestyle and really just brought it into a shop.
Now, were you in Jackson before you met your husband?
Yeah. Okay. I was in Jackson before I met my husband.
Because you were at Tougaloo.
I was at Tougaloo. Right? No, not teaching. I actually worked for the president as her special assistant for 4 years before she retired. So when she retired, I came to work full time at Herbal Blessings. Okay. Because we had been open for a couple of months before. I knew she was going to retire about a year or so back, but. Eric had started making the moves and saying, you know, this is what we're going to be doing, and I was like, okay, well, let's roll with it. Let's see what the community wants. And so I was overwhelmed by the amount of folks that come in from their auntie that is no longer, you know, dealing with her gout pain, or you know, the person that has personally changed their diet and is no longer taking insulin, or the young lady who has severe asthma attacks, and so she changed her diet, removed dairy from it, takes our herbal steroid blend and is doing awesome. And so those are the kind of stories that I can't make up, because everybody that works for us used to at one point in time was a customer that just had an amazing story and was like, I just need to be in this space. It's healthy for me to be here. And so everybody that works here is plant-based. We're like a little family as well. And when you come, we treat you as such. You know, you take your time. We have a limit. We UV in the mornings and in the afternoons, in the middle of the day as well, because we want everybody to be healthy. You know. And so just really doing our part. We make our own elderberry because all the elderberry out there had a lot of sugar in it. When I was trying to buy some for my son, it had a lot of stuff in it that would last forever. I'm like, why is this 5 years on the shelf?
So when we came in, my cousin and I, everyone, we were greeted with an elderberry shot. When I tell you blessings, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up.
That's how we roll. We try to make sure people try different things. We'll have some sea moss gel sometimes in there for people just to try, because these are things that you might have seen before or heard about, and you're really eager. And it's like, well, let's see if you like it. We do sometimes we do fruit and fruit sea moss gel or purple sea moss gel, and we'll take shots of that. My son is the shot king, but it was late when y'all came here, so he did not need another shot of elderberry. He has pooped 3 times today. He has pooped 3 times today, and so that's his normal.
Okay,
has at least 2 to 3. So I was like, you know what? Let's not have tonight. You just pooping up a storm.
My mother's gonna be all over these conversations with poop. When she listens to all my shows, she's like the poop queen. Yes, Ma, I said it. Like she would tell you all day. She talk about her poop. I'm like,
she should.
Okay,
I
know she should. Yes,
she's a woman after my own heart.
Yes.
Shout out to Melissa Mama.
Yes.
I ain't mad at you, Mama.
And when we come back down here, I'm bringing her here. She's actually going to be stunned. Like,
I'm mad because we normally have one of our carpenters, Mr. Caesar, who makes this potty stools that we have that are made with
nice.
real wood.
Okay, she definitely has the one that you just you raise your feet. Yeah, she got one of those.
Yeah. So this is how we roll, and so this is our shop. Like I said, it's a Botanica as well. There's not a whole lot of people of color who have a Botanica in the South, let alone in Mississippi. And I'm from New Orleans, but my husband is definitely more in tune to his shaman than I am to me and my mambo status as just 6th generation New Orleanian Haitian Creole. Okay. He gets the star. The ancestors know that.
What is a Botanica? When you say Botanica?
Botanica. So mostly candles, metaphysical items.
Oh, I see.
Spiritual protection, Lucky Mojo, or Florida water, Rose of Jericho, the sage. You would normally see in a traditional Botanica.
Nice.
Yeah. Somewhere in Brooklyn or somewhere in Harlem, right? Some of them have front. And some of them are in the back. Ours is in the front. We're very, very proud and open, and we definitely do feed our altar. My husband is much more in tune than me. I get an F minus.
Oh no!
As they look at me right now,
we're gonna get her out of here. We're gonna get her out of here.
This has been start feeding you all more, and so
this is awesome.
Yeah, this is where we are. And Dr. Harmon's on the altar as well. He's at the very end.
To the right.
Is that right? Yeah.
I see Dr. Sabi. Do I see Dr. Sabi? Is there a picture of Dr. Sabi? No?
Yeah, you do. But I'm trying to see. Is that my? Yeah, that's my left, far left.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Harmon at the bottom in the frame.
I see.
And then most of those are me or Eric's relatives and folks that we consider our ancestors, from George Washington Carver to my great grandmother Julia Gabriel. One of the oldest pictures on there is from like 1870 or something. Like that.
Wow.
That's our folks. Henrietta Lacks. Science would be nothing without her.
This is awesome.
My Jackson grandmother, who just passed away last year, 96.
Wow.
So we are, and so folks come in, they sometimes pay homage to the ancestors, or they'll be like, oh, I feel comfortable now getting an altar. How does our ancestor altar look? Because we've got to be in tune to our own stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Well, thank you for inviting me.
No,
this is super dope. Y'all got to come to Herbal Blessings when y'all come to Mississippi. I always talk about Mississippi, always, and I'm always inviting people down to Jackson. So amazing. I mean, just a really great story here on Farish Street, just in the midst of Black history, and just being able to have this haven, create this haven of healing and love and prosperity, like where, Black history has lived for such a very long time. So I love to see it. I love to see it. So tell folks where to find you, because they don't have to just come to the store. It'd be great, but they can order stuff online.
They can order stuff online. So we have a free mobile app. Its name is Herbal Blessings. You can find it on your Google Play, if I said that right, or your Apple Store. And you can order from us there. We have probably about maybe 80 or 90 of our blends that are in store online. along with other products as well. And then our website is www.herbalblessings601.com. So herbalblessings601.com. My husband is a true Jacksonian.
Yes, he is. That's 601.
All day, every day.
He gonna make it be known. 601.
The country is city boy, as he would say. And so he is really excited about what else we're gonna do. We're gonna open up a restaurant next door, and right now our chef serves food. Like, he had food today, but he sells out early.
Okay.
So if you want to come eat, you gotta come.
Is it vegan chef?
Oh, he's plant-based.
He's plant-based. Okay.
We don't.
Got
if
it.
It ain't beans or greens.
I got you.
Ain't no soy. Ain't nothing.
I got you.
Ain't no
Plant-based.
can. Yeah,
I got you.
They get it from the farm, and he chop it up, and
I love it.
And he cooks it. So, and then next door on the other corner will be either a supermarket, like a plant-based market, or either a wellness center. Trying to figure out.
Open by you all as well?
Yeah, we own the whole building.
You own the. You said earlier the block. Okay, so is this entire building or it's
7,000
a
square feet?
Wow, y'all hear that?
Yeah. So we've been. It's been about maybe a month and some change now.
Whoa!
But we've been in the space before then, so yeah.
Wow.
We purchased it from the last family that owned it.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Well, down the road or near future, whatever we can do to support, if there's any type of crowdfunding campaigns going on, anything we got to get out, anything.
We'll think about that, because we have really been moving really silent.
Yeah.
You're the first person that we actually talked to, and probably actually the first person that know we actually own the building.
Wow.
Jackson Advocate, my homegirl, Deanna.
I was just asking about
she just wrote an article on us last week, and so average person is probably not reading that for real. We just decided. I said, well, Eric, I guess we can tell people now that we actually have the deed. Yeah, that's just me as and my lawyer weirdness.
Right. No, absolutely.
We've been working on it for like a year now, and so we it's tough to get stuff from a bank. When you're talking about dilapidated neighborhoods. So there's all kind of literature on that, and how they do not want to loan you anything. So, but yeah, we gonna do some things in this space. There will not be boards on it forever. So
wow,
there will definitely won't be boards on it forever.
This whole conversation just made my night, Yasmin.
Oh no, I appreciate you. That's why he's so quiet, because he is making a lot of moves, and so today was his off day for us to go to the gym. And I said, well, let me do it. He said, really? I said, let me, come on now.
Oh, I appreciate y'all.
I said, come on now.
Well, peace, everyone. Thank you, Yasmin.
It's
been a pleasure. All right.
Thanks for tuning in. You can catch today's episode on fullserviceradio.org, as well as iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to follow Food Talks in Color, that's just the letter N, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all updates. Are you an edible activist? Sure you are. Come join me on the show. Just shoot me a DM on the gram or connect with me at foodtalksincolor.com. And if you're interested in sponsoring this podcast, let's connect. Peace and blessings. And remember, in the words of Baba Tariq Adunu, there is no culture without agriculture.